keep signing off and coming back, but platform issues. Platform issues. Get my seatbelt on. So I just left my patient's house, and I had to make sure that individual had everything they need in case of an emergency. Because, hold on, my map. Sorry about that. But so when I go to my patient's house, I have to make sure they have what they need, because what happens is, if there is some sort of evacuation order, which there shouldn't be in Broward, but if there were, this individual has to go. The wife knows that this individual would have to go. And if you evacuate to a hospital, man, my transmission's really giving me problems. It keeps going into limp mode. I gotta pull over here. Hold on. So if you these cups, these Dunkin' Donut cups are probably the worst cups I've ever of any. They leak, they're flimsy. So the problem is, anyway, where was I? So I have to make sure that my patient has everything they need for seamless care. This particular patient of mine is in a wheelchair. And there are things that this individual has at the house that if they get the order to evacuate, they have to pack up and bring it. You have to load up all the supplies, and you have to bring it yourself, even though it's a hospital. And they'll take care of you, but they don't have your supplies, so you have to bring it. You have to pack up your car, put the person in the car, and you'd be going to the hospital. Where they put you at the hospital, I don't know. Are you going to be in a room? Are you going to be in a hallway? They put you anywhere they can. I've seen people sit in a wheelchair in a hallway of a hospital. You just never know. But it doesn't look like Broward's going to be under that threat. Anybody have any tips? You know, I was talking about tips earlier. What do you do? Like when you're planning, like what do I do? You know, someone asked, do you have like food storage? Like you see like these companies, My Patriot Supply or some of these other companies where you can buy for like $1,000 you get, you know, a food supply that can last, depending on what you order, for 2 people, 3, 4, 2,000 calories a day for X amount of days. Do I have that? And I do not. I have the water and some canned goods. I buy rice because rice can be boiled with water. If you have to boil your water, if you're in a boiled water order, you can. Hey, what's up, Tice? Yeah. So, what do? How do you plan for a hurricane? I'm fortunate that the area that I live, we have gas. We have natural gas. So my stove is natural gas. My water heater is natural gas. My dryer is natural gas. And what I'm able to do is, it's funny. We had a hurricane one year, and my family for like a week was coming over to my house every night for a shower. We did that, But what do I do? How do I plan for a hurricane? So I do have a generator. I have a 5,500 watt generator. And what I do with that generator is 5 gallons of gas can last me a couple days. They are loud, so we try to run it. I try to run it later on in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock, and then run it most of the time throughout the day. It's not enough to run my air conditioning, but I can, plug the fridge in. You plug the fridge in, maybe power a TV set. And then at night, come 10, 11 o'clock, shut the generator off because everyone's got the windows open, right? Because you have no air conditioning for the most part. So everyone shuts their generators off, brings them inside to give everyone peace and quiet. And then the next morning, you turn them back on. Some people do have whole entire home generators. That's probably I don't know, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 investment. I have natural gas, and I haven't converted my generator over from you have what they call biofuel. You have fuel, which is, it could be gas. You have biofuel, which could be gas and propane. Then you have a tri-fuel, which could be all three. You could have gas, natural gas, or propane, right? So if I wanted to do that, I could put an adapter on and then tap into my natural gas line, have a plumber do that, and then I could just screw into that, and it can run off of the propane. Natural gas, and then I wouldn't have to worry about gas, liquid gas. And then people had taken that a step farther. You could take a 240. You get an electrician who puts in an adapter on the outside of your house that's covered by a box. It's like a giant plug, a 240 volt plug, and it goes into your home, into the circuit breaker box. And then you can basically run the generator outside, plug it into the side of your house, and then you can run, you can turn it on, and it'll power things just like normal. You can turn on lights, turn them off, etc. I haven't done that. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if my generator runs, to be honest with you. It's been a long time since I've tried running it. I probably got to take it somewhere, let them go through it, overhaul it. But I got it for free because when years ago when we had the natural disaster Wilma, they were giving people money to buy a chainsaw and generator, and I took advantage of it. I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I had to drive. I literally drove 4 hours to the West Coast, up near Tampa, and I went to a Target, and I purchased supplies. I had a truck and a trailer, and I loaded up 2 generators, chainsaws, gas, temporary fencing. No one thinks of that, right? You have an animal, you have a dog, right? I had a wooden shadow box fence that got blown away, and everyone, the 4 houses that we all kind of came together were only separated by a fence, a wooden fence. Now we're all exposed, and our animals, we had to walk our animals every night. So we got some temporary fencing to put up just so the dogs would stay within the confines of their own yard. Gas, I was saying. But I went over to, I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I went to, where did I go? I think I went across the alley. I went to Naples, and they had gas, and I purchased $1,000 worth of gas. I had my buddy drag raced. He was a drag racer, and he had those enclosed trailer. He had an enclosed trailer for his car, so I took that, and on the inside, he had all these. They had legal gas containers, like big ones, that held racing fuel for his alcohol dragster, and they were empty at the time. They were all empty because he hadn't raced in a while. So I had filled that up, and then you had like these 10 or 15 gallon containers that you put fuel in. I was filling that up. I mean, I'm sitting in there with a watt. I had $1,000 in cash. I'm prepaying. Like, go in there and give him $500, fill up all the containers. It would top off, go back in, give him some more money, because he was so busy. The gas station, it was a shell. They were so busy they didn't trust anyone. And our cards wouldn't put that much money in. It wouldn't authorize it. And I was picking up so much gas for people that everyone was giving me cash. That's why they tell you if a storm's coming, you go to the bank and you withdraw cash if you have cash, because there's limitations. If you have a debit card, not everyone has a credit card. And not everyone has a credit card with a lot of balance. I mean, with a lot of available credit. I've seen people with $5,000 limits, and they got $4,566 on it, or they got $4,900 on it. Right? Everyone uses it to its max, and they count on us to do that. So that's why you got to have cash. Withdraw cash. You never know. I always check with my employer. Two of my places pay me by direct deposit, and what's cool is I use banks. Like I have a company called Capital One. Capital One is basically an online bank, but because of my direct deposit, I don't know how it works. I guess my employer will submit on Wednesday or Thursday for my paycheck, right? So it gets paid on Friday, right? So I'll get notification sometimes Thursday, sometimes even Wednesday, that there's been a deposit in my account. And because I use a bank that gives you early. Here, I'm gonna show you the weather. There you go. This picture makes it look nice out, but it's not. All that in the distance, those are all brown. Those are all clouds, like storm clouds. But what happens is I'll get my direct deposit early. Instead of getting paid on Friday, sometimes I get paid on Thursday, sometimes I even get paid on Wednesday, depending on when they authorize the direct deposit. My wife's different. She gets paid on. She gets paid. We have Chase at our bank until Friday. But the hurricanes. Been living under this threat most of my life. I've lived here my whole life. There's always that issue of hurricanes. And really nothing you can do about it, right? Nothing. You're kind of powerless. We'll see. I don't know when they said the weather's supposed to go, when the weather's supposed to turn on us. I think they're saying that when this storm finally starts to head towards us, it's going to happen rapidly. Like it's going to pick up speed, and it's good and it's bad, right? The worst thing that can happen is like what happened over the Bahamas years ago, where they had where the hurricane sat over one of the islands there for like 2 days, flooded the whole island. What was it, Andros Island or something like that? But it flooded. They were battered for 2 days because the storm was stuck, couldn't move. And that's the worst thing that can happen. You know, when you get these hurricanes and they start moving, it'll happen quick. Like it'll come ashore Wednesday. It'll come ashore Wednesday in a matter of a few hours. It'll be gone, depending how fast it's going. Like if it hit at 8 o'clock in the morning, boom, it hits. All hell breaks loose for like you get the build up of the storm surge and everything. The waves pick up, the wind starts to pick up, and then it happens so gradually that you don't even realize it's happening. You don't even realize it's happening. It's just like builds up slowly. You know, the winds, storm surge, the waves start getting a little rough out. You know, it just, and you don't even realize. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, you got like 100-mile-an-hour winds outside, and you start seeing stuff flying. You see things flying all over the place. And then what's crazy is when you're in it. Like I had the eye of the hurricane of Wilma pass right over our house. What'll happen is the winds coming out of the west, because it came across Florida from the Gulf, and the winds coming out of the west at 100 plus, and everything is going down the street. You know, everything's passing by my house, going from left to right, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's like beautiful weather out. Blue skies, everything, because you're in the eye of the hurricane. And when you're in the eye of the hurricane, everything comes to a stop. Just like if you're like, just like right now, you're looking outside, everything's great. You see everything in the distance, and then you got about, most of the time, you got about 10, 15 minutes. They tell you don't go out, but most people do. They go out, they survey the damage, and then you run back into your house, and then all of a sudden, everything happens again. Everything starts up again, and you got to go. And now the wind starts blowing the other direction. Everything that was going from left to right is now going right to left, because you're on the other side of the hurricane. And then after a couple hours, it's over. And then everyone walks around the neighborhood, and which is not good. And you see a lot of downed trees. You see other trees fall down, but other palm trees stay, right? It's almost comical when you watch palm trees. They're flexible. They're long and flexible, and they bend in the wind. With these other trees that you see on your right, those will all break apart. They'll be all over the ground. And there's just nothing you can do. The dumbest thing I've ever seen, if you look at these trees on the right, these trees are all up in the power lines. Like, it's so stupid. Like, you see these trees coming up on the right, you see the power poles. The poles are tilted to the left. These things are right up against the power lines. You know, and it's so obvious. They shouldn't be there. If you're going to have power lines there, the trees shouldn't be anywhere near those power lines, because when the wind kicks up, these things are going all over the place. The limbs are blowing all over the place, and then what happens is they knock the lines down, like all these bunch of trees on the right. Well, I don't know what they call those, black olive trees or whatever the hell they call them. They all get blown down, and it hits the line. You see them, and I'm like, if you're gonna have, you know, and then they mandate that, like, the power lines, like the trees, you gotta have a certain amount of trees, right? We have a landscaping code. You gotta have a certain amount of trees. So why do you put them in the power lines? It's dumb. It really is. Some of the dumbest stuff I ever seen. All right. I gotta pick up my kid. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.